Welcome to episode 2 of Hot Off The Terr. Thank you all for watching episode 1, and it did so well. We were able to splash the cash. We got a couple new props. We actually booked a studio this time. It's, things are looking up. Dune did well. So we're going to move straight into it with the NFL. Now, before we get into the playoff predictions, and not predictions, but, overlook, I have a few things to say. Ben Johnson getting the Bears head coaching job 2 days after the Lions get bounced from the playoffs is actually insane. He was no way focused on the Lions game at all. Hiring him 2 days after losing is like happily linking a bad bitch while going to couples therapy. It's insane. It's, you're not focused on the task at hand, and maybe that's why they lost. Maybe it was Jared Goff, who knows. So now let's get into the conference finals previews. So for the NFC Championship, it is the Commanders versus the Eagles. Now Jalen Hurts is doing his best Cody Rhodes impression. He's trying to finish the story, avenging his Super Bowl loss. But Jaden Daniels, I am so certain that he has no idea how he got this far, and neither does Washington, but he may actually be the most popular man in DC right now. For the AFC Championship, we got the Bills and the Chiefs. Josh Allen, please, I beg of you. I beg, save us. The problem I have here is, at least with the Patriots dynasty, they were respectable. You feared them. It was like watching Darth Vader and his stormtroopers go into Foxborough with the Imperial March playing in the background. You were scared. You dreaded having to play the Patriots. But with the Chiefs, you don't dread having to play them. You dread the referees. You dread the fuckery that's going to happen with them. And, the Patriots were so evil, you just respected them. And majority of people were sad when Brady retired. Nobody respects these Chiefs, apart from 14-year-old girls. I don't know. That's all we have here. If you want my predictions, I'll probably be on a podcast, a Sharp Sports podcast, discussing them at some point, maybe, or just owning my losses. I thought the Lions were winning the Super Bowl. So we are going to move straight into the NBA this time. And Sydney Sweeney, America's favorite, was at the Brooklyn Nets game. The thing is, after that happened, Animal Control was actually called to the Barclays Center, but when they got there, they discovered it was just grown men barking at her. It was shameful. And it's also NBA Rivals Week. Nobody knew. Even I was surprised when the Shutter Sports gods told me that it was Rivals Week. So, what is NBA Rivals Week? The NBA announced a new twist to the regular season in 2022, dedicating a week in January to classic and budding rivalries between teams and players. The third annual NBA Rivals Week will feature 10 nationally televised games with bragging rights on the line. That was straight from the NBA themselves. Now, I'm going to read out the 10 nationally televised games for you so that you are well aware of it. January 21st, we have New York Knicks at the Brooklyn Nets and the 76ers at the Denver Nuggets. January 22nd, we have the Timberwolves at the Mavericks and the Warriors at the Kings. And then January 23rd, the Heat at the Bucks, Celtics at Lakers, and then that's a huge one. January 24th is just the Pelicans and the Grizzlies. And January 25th is the Nuggets at the Timberwolves, the Celtics at the Mavericks, and the Lakers at the Warriors. Now, if you didn't hear your team in the games that I just listed, the NBA does not view your team as important enough to have a game during this time. I'm sorry that you really had to hear that from me. You'll get there one day. But we are going to move on from, actually, no, we're not. Jimmy Butler has been suspended again due to missing a team flight. Fuck knows what's happening with the Heat right now. They're just a huge shit show. Free Jimmy Butler is all I'm saying. Okay, now we're going to move on to the NHL, which a lot of you guys seem to love. A lot seems to be happening in the NHL, as always. Never can get a slow news day with them lot hanging around. So, The Ottawa Senators are playing like 2008 Katy Perry. They just cannot decide if they're hot or cold. While fighting for a wild card spot and doing better than probably most people expected them to, they have already gotten shut out 4 times this year. No, not this season, this year. We're not even past the first month. Yeah, bad look for Ottawa. On Tuesday, they lost 5-0. Is it 5-0? Yeah, I'm gonna say 5-0. I'm gonna say 5-0. Start saying that, Americans. They lost 5-0 to Dumpster Fire Rangers, and tensions began to rise on both teams as they're probably a little frustrated with where they both are right now. But in a scuffle behind the net, Ranger goalie Igor Shesterkin got in on the action and just laid in a Brady Tkachuk. Is that how you say it?
That's not how you say either of those things.
Igor Shesterkin? That's not how you say that? Shesterkin, fuck off. Okay. But yeah, I mean, me personally, I love that. Let the goalkeepers just go at them. Like, let them do what they want, kind of, because they're the most protected thing in sports. I'm not for goalie protection a lot. But when they're fighting, I love goalies. So, you know, let the kids fight. Let them do what they want. If any suspensions or things come down on them, I'm pissed. So, next we have the league. They reached a verdict on McDavid. He was suspended 3 games, and the Edmonton Oilers socials acted like he died, posting an apology to fans that read, "The Oilers organization is disappointed, and we share in our fans' frustration over the 3-game suspension of our captain, Connor McDavid. We support him through this process, and the organization and our fans look forward to having him back in the lineup versus Seattle next week." Do they know that he can still be friends with everyone during the suspension? Like, they're not banishing him to an island. He's still there. Seriously, the suspension is so insignificant that between the time that I am filming and posting this, he will only have 1 game left. It's 3 games. He's not dead. I get that he's a superstar. McDavid is huge, you know, has his own McDonald's burger, but surely the Oilers can beat the Sabres without him. I don't watch hockey too much, but even I know the Sabres aren't very good. So if they don't win that, forget I said anything. Good job, Buffalo. The Toronto Maple Leafs finally found themselves on the other side of a blown 3-0 lead. Unfortunately, it meant absolutely nothing and will likely not be repeated in the playoffs. What an incredible choke job by the Montreal Canadiens, especially after pointing at the scoreboard in the second period after only being up by 3. I say only being up by 3, that's still a decent deficit. You should be winning games by that. The Canadiens ended up losing this one 7-3, giving up 7 unanswered. That's just poor. That's just poor. But the best part that came out of all of this wasn't the game. It was the little girl shitting on her entire family, who are all Montreal fans in the post-game interview. As someone who doesn't follow the same team as my dad and my brother in the NFL, I fucking love that clip. It's so good. Montreal TV, they'll probably play the clip.
Habs are losers. Absolute losers.
I can't even tell you're a loser because you're like 8 years old, man. Like,
He's my dad. He's my uncle.
You're the dad? Oh my God!
She's my mom. He's my brother. She's my son.
What the fuck happened to your daughter? What the fuck? Her uncle. Dude, kick his ass.
But it's so fucking good. Finishing off news in the NHL with my goat Gritty, the mascot. If you're unfamiliar, he stands for gay rights, and you should too. That's all I have to say on that. Next, we move on to the Premier League, and Man United were once again front and center with everything, despite being terrible this season. They lost to Brighton due to some mistakes, and immediately after, head coach Ruben Amorim? I don't know how to say that one. It's Portuguese. I should know this. Man United lose to Brighton, and immediately Ruben Amorim says, "We are the worst Man United team ever," or something along those lines. Seriously, we have to stop interviewing these Man United managers. As fun as it is for the media to get those sport graphics of the Man United managers, they must hate it. Like the United fans, they must hate it. Because every quote that comes up is so funny and ages so poorly. Like this one from Eric Ten Hag, who got sacked. I admire them both. Man City and Liverpool, they play fantastic. They play fantastic football, but errors come to an end. That could not have been more horrifically wrong. Borderline, like the I have secured peace in our time. Next, we have Noni Madueke from Chelsea. Absolutely despises Wolves. Now, earlier in the season, if you didn't know, he posted on his Instagram, public Instagram story, everything about this place is shit, and tagged Wolverhampton. And then he proceeded in the game to score a hat-trick on them. Now, after scoring against them again earlier this week, he now has 4 goals in 2 games against them this season. That is pure hatred. I love players playing the game out of pure hatred for just a place, a person, a team. It brings brilliant moments like that. Now, on the other side of Fulham, Fulham fans have taken it to a new level. On an away day, they are known for bringing cheese boards. They're known for being posh, you know? Cheese boards, wine, brilliant away days. But this time, they've taken it up a level. They've decided cheese balls may have gotten stale. They have brought oysters on the train to the match against Leicester. Now, if you ask me my opinion on this, I love it. It's great. It winded so many people up. It just sent social media into a frenzy. People thought, oh, Fulham can't get any more posh. No, there's always a way to do it. Yeah. Moving on now to the WSL, women's sports. I haven't talked about it last week, so I'm going to talk about it this week. Also, probably tune into Chella Sports Girl Talk if you want to hear a lot about women's sports. The USA defender Naomi Girma. I pray that's how you say that name. I'm going to actually... it's got to be Girma. Or, hold on, I'm watching a video.
We're going to turn our attention to a story that caught everybody's eye in football today, because Naomi Girma, remember?
Yes! Bang! The USA defender Naomi Girma is poised to have a medical at Chelsea this week after agreeing personal terms to join from San Diego Wave for a world record fee. The London club will pay $1.1 million US, which is £890,000. The first women's football transfer fee to exceed $1 million US. It's no joke here, just a huge step for women's sports, so great to see you going in the right direction. Now onto an honourable mention that is just near and dear to Chella Sports Media itself. We have so many Tottenham Hotspur fans working here. They've just came in like a wave after we put out a whole thing of, we're hiring. Where did they all come from? I don't know. I only knew one before, now I know like 10. There's so many. But you know, you kind of gotta feel bad for them, so whatever. But yes, that is all we have for this week. I'm Austin Terry yet again, signing off on this episode of Hot Off The Terr. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you back next week.